Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Welcome everyone here at Consensus. Welcome to all of those on Twitter Spaces. My name is Frank Mong. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of Nova Labs. We are delivering a service called Helium Mobile and a sponsor of Consensus. And so thank you so much for joining us today. I've got a really exciting panel of individuals in their companies that are really helping us cross the crypto chasm into Main Street. So I have a whole list of rehearsed questions. I kind of read it, but I forgot them already because I'm so excited to be here. So I apologize to my panelists. We're going to figure it out, make it up as I go along. So instead of me introducing everyone, I think it's better that I ask each of them to introduce yourself, your name, what you do at your company, and really what's your company's mission and goals. Why don't we start with Sam?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I am Samruddhi, or Sam, if it's easier to pronounce. I'm from Helio. We're a payments platform. We're #1 on Solana and fastest growing in crypto. So our main mission is to make payments in crypto as easy as possible and reduce the friction when it comes to just paying with crypto. Oh, sorry, didn't speak into the mic there. And I am the head of eCommerce products. So I look after our Shopify plugin, which is Solana Pay, as well as our Discord plugin and integrations with WooCommerce and various other ticketing platforms. So if you buy a ticket to ETHCC or Breakpoint, that's actually powered by us. So that's pretty exciting. And I'm coming in from a Web 2 background. I used to be at a B2B SaaS. So this works out pretty well for me because I can sympathize with the Web 2 to Web 3 chasm. And hopefully we can bridge the gap and bring more people into crypto.
Thank you, Sam. Brendan.
Hi, Brendan Eich, JavaScript, Mozilla, Brave. So with Brave, we're trying something that hasn't really been tried since, I think, Firefox, which I think unfortunately got kind of captured by the Google search deal. We're trying to do a user-first platform from the ultimate edge, the browser, toward the various services and peer-to-peer networks that are out there. We love self-custody, we love crypto, we love AI, which I'm speaking about later today. I love it, thank you.
Brendan, I remember Mozilla from the 90s. That was my introduction to the web. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Hey folks, I'm Joe Wadcan. I run partnerships for Phantom Wallet. And so Phantom Wallet is a self-custodial wallet that allows you to trade assets and really explore crypto broadly. We just had some big numbers. We just passed 9 million in terms of monthly active users. We are really, really excited about the Solana space, but we are a multi-chain wallet, so you can use us across Ethereum, Polygon, and Bitcoin. And yeah, our mission at Phantom is to accelerate the world's adoption of crypto, and by making it safe and easy to use. So I think a lot of what we do is very in line with a lot of the partners up here as well.
Thank you. Hold your mic up next time
Sure.
when you talk. All right. I got you guys back there. Hey, so look, if you're sort of like in tech in the 90s, like I was, it makes me kind of old, I know. What's really cool with what we have on stage here is it reminds me of the OSI model. You know what that means, but it was just like these layers of things that built the internet, starting with the bottom, the physical layer. So Helium Mobile is kind of like that physical layer. We're trying to figure out how to connect people in a different way, using decentralized hotspots, et cetera. And then you move up the stack into the operating system layer. But that's Solana. They're like the operating system of crypto, really, I think, or the world. I can't remember what their thing is. But I love Solana, by the way, Raj, in case you're watching. And then, of course, then you get into the actual applications. Got the guru here himself. Kind of knows a thing or two about browsers. And then when you get into the browser world, you get into like killer apps. Transactions is one of them. And we got a really smart player in that space. And of course, who doesn't need wallets and custody? I mean, I got to say, MetaMask, you got to watch out. I got both, and I'm sorry, theirs is better right now. So get better, right? It's it's cool. It's enough room for everybody. So as we kind of walk through this journey, what I like to start with is let's just make it very clear to the audience here and the folks watching us on Spaces, what's the problem we're trying to solve here? Why does crypto need to be an ingredient? And I thought, why don't we start with you on the fandom side? Like, what's the problem you're solving? Because there's tons of wallets out there.
Yeah, there's definitely no shortage of wallet options. I think when the founders started this company, and it's only about 3 years old, so we were starting in 2021, they really looked at the wallet space and the relationship with users as a key point that if we're going to have crypto be adopted widely, we need to have a really good experience for folks who are coming in. And the wallet is that central place, that home that you start a lot of your crypto journey on. So we wanted to double down and do a lot of work in innovating around that experience.
Yeah, it's amazing. Who here has Phantom Wallet?
Nice.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
online, download it. It's super easy. It's secure, right? It's easy.
Very, very
for sure.
secure.
You heard it from him. All right, it's great. Brendan, what problem are you solving?
Well, the problem that you hear sometimes from crypto bros, forgive me, is, UX, we need better UX. Or it's sort of like in Hollywood when they do bad storyboarding and direction and they have some bad footage and they say, well, fix it in post-production. Fix it in post. Well, fix the UX. Well, you can't really design that in late. You have to do design in a big spiral as you implement and even design protocols and UX with UX in mind. So you can't just retrofit UX. And that's one of the things we've discovered on the web over the years. It's been painful in some cases because things like phishing and tracking emerged. And you see that now with wallets. You see what people call the address poisoning, which is really a phishing attack where just the first few digits and the last few digits match and the ... in the middle fools you and you send to the wrong address. It happened recently. I think they managed to recover the funds though. This kind of problem needs architecture. It needs people who've been around the block on the 7-layer model, which never worked, by the way. The TCP/IP folks, especially my Berkeley buddies, Berkeley Unix, just ran rings around it. Van Jacobson at LBL. So layering helps. There are layers in the world. They emerge naturally. If you design too many layers, you're probably doing it wrong because, as Jamie Zawinski famously said about using irregular expressions, now you've got 2 problems. With OSI, maybe you had 7 problems. A lot of the optimizations over the years to TCP/IP involved flattening things and looking across the layers to optimize. So when you look at how people use crypto through wallets or through things like Brave Rewards, which is built into the browser, we also have a self-custody wallet built in. You have to think about what's the user doing, what's the high-level task, and what's their intention, and how do you flatten the layers enough, not too much, but enough that everything works and there are fewer hairy edge cases that you get hung up on, you tear your sweater on.
Yeah, that's so true. Sam, when you think about the problem statement for you guys, as a user of Web 2, I admit it, I shop on Amazon all the time, and I just click on Apple Pay or something, it just works very smoothly. So what could Helio be solving? Like, what's the problem you're kind of addressing?
Yeah, so crypto payments, the way we see it, is like the financial model made for the digital world. And we want to really leverage the power of crypto, especially on Solana with the fast transaction speeds and the low fees, to really change the way people interact with the money. Because now you own your own money, you have more empowerment, and it's all peer-to-peer and direct. And the problem we're solving with Helio is that we want to make the experience with crypto payments as seamless as possible when it comes to for our users, right? We want to make it as easy as Apple Pay. And actually, when it comes to online checkouts, if you use Helio, it's very similar. We've got the same number of clicks down. So when you check out, instead of now connecting your card, you connect your decentralized wallet, and it goes through in the same way. And the whole process is so simple and easy. And that's what we want to do. We want to reduce the friction when it comes to payments and get more and more people using it. So it's quite easy for buyers, and we want to make it easy for merchants to start selling with crypto as well by reducing that friction.
Yeah, reducing frictions, I would say a huge problem in general within the world of crypto, but I would say in the world of most apps, I think, that are trying to get off the ground. Brandon, I think I met you 5-6 years ago. It was the first time. I think that's when Helium originally started, and I think that's when Brave was just beginning to really get ramping. If you can think back to the early days of Brave, what's like the one nut you had to crack to really get that flywheel going to Brave browser adoption? What was the magic kind of, or maybe a set of magics, but if you had to point to one thing, what changed?
Well, so this applies to things like Apple Pay. We were competing mainly with Google Chrome. Google Chrome did not get to 95% market share like the Internet Explorer did. Apple denied that last 30%, but it got really big. And people were on it because of the extensions, and at first it was fast. Over time it wasn't so fast. So one of the things we had to do was make it really easy to try Brave. You could just migrate your settings, including your extensions. And then if you liked it, you could stick with it. If you didn't, you could go back, or you could co-browse for a time. That was hugely important, and that's a general principle for us. I think you look at how we're taking on YouTube. We don't have the capital, nor do we need to host all the videos. It's a lot of infrastructure, OpEx. We don't need to have that central routing algorithm that finds the slow or down link near your house and routes around it. Google does that really well. But we can block their ads, which people love, and we can reconnect fans to creators through Basic Attention Token, through Brave Wallet, so that people are not subject to Google taking a slice, canceling you, demonetizing you.
Yeah, and I think that's like important for folks watching, both here as well as online. If you're trying to start something, it's a struggle in the beginning, and then you hit this inflection point. I think you're pretty spot on. You got to give people a way to try something, especially if they're skeptical. There's always fear and uncertainty in trying new things. So as Helio is pretty new, Sam, right? And so when you talk to your founders about some of the challenges that they see today, what are you guys trying to address?
Yeah, so I mentioned earlier that the biggest challenge when it comes to crypto is like the user experience of payments. And the thing with the main street is that the biggest blockchains are Bitcoin and Ethereum. But transactions on Bitcoin, if anyone's done that, it's like it takes 20 minutes, and then who knows what the fees are like, and it's not a smooth experience. So when we encourage people to maybe use Solana, then we're making it comparable to the traditional finance experience. Like you said, you just tap your Apple Pay and then it just goes through. We want to make that happen, and that's the kind of challenge that I guess we want to solve for in the crypto space, and because we want to make it easier for more people to onboard with crypto. We try to add in features that are really familiar for Web2 users. Like, all of us use email addresses to create accounts all the time, right? Even for Consensus, we had to use email address to create our account. So what we've added as a cool new feature is you can use your email address to create a DeFi wallet on Helio itself, and that's just a really familiar way for people to get started. So we just want people to have an easy experience, and once they're in Helio, the whole dashboard is so intuitive, they can spin up a pay link in a couple of minutes.
So I can basically interact with go to your Helio site, enter my email, create an account. And once I do that, I can quickly integrate your platform into my payment flow, right? So if I'm a business selling T-shirts and I'm willing to accept Solana or Helium mobile tokens, I can use Helio.
Yes, and actually we have a Shopify plugin, so Solana Pay on Shopify, that's powered by Helio, and Now, even with Helium Mobile, with your Shopify site, with the new app upgrade we've got coming soon, you can accept mobile token and get paid in mobile and get your users to buy using that token.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did we announce that yet? Oops. Sorry about that.
Oh, sorry.
It was a great example, though.
Oops.
Leaked here first. Sorry. Joe, please don't leak anything. Phantom and Helium Mobile. No, I'm just kidding. No. So when you look at Phantom's 3-year journey, the Phantom wallet, at least on iOS, has completely blown up. It's massive.
Yeah, it's done.
Like, what triggered that growth?
Yeah, there's a lot of macro things and in-product things. I think right now, if you look at the app stores, US Android, we are number 10 in the free app store, above ChatGPT, above Twitter. These are like Web 2 companies with much bigger scale and resources. So yeah, we're very excited to see that. I think part of that comes from our approach at Phantom is to look at users and try to reduce this knowledge ladder that they have to climb to do anything. And we saw this, very acutely with meme coins. People would want to, share a meme coin with their friend, and they'd say, "Hey, all you have to do is download a self-custody wallet, log in, on-ramp some fiat, go to a DEX, and then sign a transaction. Easy, right?" All of those actions require layers of understanding of how our industry works. And so the more that we can abstract that away, or at least, allow people to take that journey on their own terms, the more folks that we'll see come into the ecosystem. So I think that was a big part of it. One of the smartest things I think we did at Phantom was during this airdrop season that happened in Solana, we were very proactive. And so we made a lot of partnerships with those dApps who are having their big token events. And so we would notify users who had Phantom wallets that said, "Hey, you are eligible for X token. Click here and go to the eligibility checker straight through." That is what I mean by reducing that kind of knowledge ladder. We didn't have to have folks remember what wallet they used, what dApp was it, where do I even click? Trying to reduce the amount of scamming and rug links that are out there in the world. People go directly to their wallet, find a trusted link, and then make their action. So I think that kind of stuff was really impactful because once folks, had that experience, not only are they really happy, they're like, "Oh, great, Phantom Wallet, you're the best, loved it." But now they have actual tokens. They have asset value in their wallet. And so what they do is they go to DeFi, they play a game, they start using it in the ecosystem. So I think this is part of what we are able to help our ecosystem grow by making that initial experience with the user so smooth that it benefits and ripples out throughout crypto.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. I can see the ease is really easy to feel, but the complexity behind that and getting it to that point is incredibly difficult. I think, who here has Helium Mobile? So Helium Mobile, by the way, for those that don't have it, you're here because of Helium Mobile. So please sign up for Helium Mobile. It's $20 a month, all you can eat, no gimmicks, right? So way cheaper than whatever it is that you're using today. I guarantee it. Check it out online as well. Part of our challenge is trying to reach a massive audience because everybody needs a phone plan. And we decided to focus in on 2 things. On affordability, so the outcome of a crypto-powered thing is that it's more affordable to everybody. So that's one. And the other thing is really crypto. It is crypto-powered, so making sure that's easy to understand and make sure that the value of that utility is very easy to obtain. And so the phone plan itself and the simplicity of sign up, simplicity of use, you just want to use your phone at the end of the day. Making sure that works across the United States is something that's very complicated, but we try to simplify it as much as we can. And as we're early in our journey, and as I'm talking to the folks up here, I'm trying to figure out how to go from tens of thousands, 100,000 users to millions of users that's surrounding me right now in their platforms. So that kind of makes me think of like the next question I would ask, and we'll start with you, Sam, is as you look at your journey and where you are now, integration with Shopify and stuff like that, with Solana Pay, what's a key recent feature or a key recent integration you guys have done that you think is critical to the end state of where you want to be?
Yeah, so this Shopify partnership is fairly new. Actually, within the first 6 months of us launching with Shopify, we had over 50 million in transactions, and we've got over 400 stores using it. And that ranges from Helium to regular Web 2 stores. Like if you've heard of Brian Johnston, who's like the anti-aging guy, you can buy his supplements on Solana Pay. So that's pretty cool. And that partnership with Shopify has been so pivotal because Shopify already has such a strong user base of hundreds of millions of users that now, if we can bring crypto to that space, then we've opened the gate of crypto to all of these merchants who are selling on Shopify. So that's been so powerful. And the thing that we're working on right now is this app upgrade. We've submitted it. It's being reviewed by Shopify. But what it will do is it will allow you to pay in any token on Solana. So right now it's restricted to USDC. But after that, after the upgrade, you can pay in Mong.
Wow.
You can pay in any of the Solana tokens, and you can add in extra features like you can gate your NFT. You can get access to your store with your NFT, or you can provide exclusive discounts to your communities on Discord, and even give airdrops via Solana Pay. So we're really expanding on that Shopify partnership to show the full power of what blockchain can do.
That's really cool. I love that you're bridging the Web 2 folks into Web 3 in a very understandable way, right? By linking that traditional payment rail into this new world of payment rails. So that's cool. Brendan, when you think about Brave and where you've been and where you're going, today you kind of touched on the competition with YouTube. Is that the latest thing that you guys are working on, or if something that you can share? What's Brave's current nut to crack? The next, the current feature you're pushing hard on.
So we've grown every year since birth, and we're getting into the big scale where you can start to do things. People think of us as a browser, but we acquired a team that built a search engine. We're like the third independent search engine in the West after Google and Bing.
Wow.
And that means we also have that human feedback, reinforcement learning data feed that AI needs. So we're actually doing an API business off of the search feed, snippets only, not full pages. We're doing things on our own with AI in partnership with Anthropic and Mistral and others. And we're thinking about what we can do in the browser with AI, because I think the user interface to the browser is going to be eaten by AI. There was a comment by an old hand in the valley, I'm going to forget his name, who was on a podcast recently I listened to, and he said AI is going to change user interface for everything. And I think that's true. That you'll still have tabs, but how many people have 3,000 tabs and have trouble finding them, or you have to use the search box to find them?
Yeah.
I do. So I think this all gets much better with local AI, but you want it to be local in the sense that, if possible, and you have the gear, you could run it locally. If it's hosted, you could prove security properties about it, that it doesn't leak private information. Somebody isn't doing a prompt injection attack on you and getting all your sensitive data. You can have your own private PDFs and other files you could trust with it. It could ultimately automate tasks for you in the browser at a higher level that makes it more like a Jarvis, like a true assistant, instead of this sort of forgetful chat assistant that you have to keep reminding of things you told it yesterday or last week. By the way, I think Phantom's doing an awesome job. I think that there's been this problem in the world that people feel as like liquidity or the lack of it. It goes to everything, like illiquid physical assets, things like pieces of startups I own a piece of that somebody might want to buy off me, but it's a private deal, and how do they find me? Certainly all the tokens that have been airdropped me over the years, right? But some of them are actually good, and I should use them. So there's a world with crypto that opens everything up and maximizes liquidity, and then that leads to growth of new apps and new ideas as you get those meme coins that lead you into a great game or something new.
Are you guys still focused at Brave on creators and users?
So we do have a two-sided system in terms of users and creators. We have three sides if you include the advertisers. We do private ad sales, and the payments go to the user in a large percentage for the original unit we did, and we're onboarding users all the time. We settled over 5 million users a month with basic attention token. So that's a significant cohort. And one of the new things we're trying is paying directly on Solana into self-custody wallets. Could be our wallet, could be Phantom. Getting away from the custodians we've used over the years who require you to sign up in KYC and ID verify, and even then, next year they say, oh, we have to re-onboard you. Please, tell us your income bucket or some nonsense that I think came from a government regulation change. So we're trying direct payouts, no intermediaries on Solana. We love Solana, and I think this is going to be big for us because as we grow the bad economics, we'll re-attack the YouTube creators. If you look at them, they're still there. The middle tier is powerful. They do a lot of great stuff. Some of the stars are showing up on old media shows like Piers Morgan's show, and they are getting over 1 million subscribers, but they still have to hang a Patreon link and an Ethereum address and 3 other ways to get paid. And of course, they're often demonetized because their content is actually interesting instead of safe. So we're going to keep running at the creator side, and we'll do it with partners as much as we can.
Awesome. Joe, we talked about a pretty significant event recently you guys went through. Why don't you share with the audience what happened and why? Why did you guys make that deal?
Yeah, so we recently announced an acquisition of a company called Bitski. It was our Phantom's first acquisition. But I think it's useful to understand in the context of where Phantom is. We think about these arcs that our company's been through, and Phantom, our first arc was making sure we are the best, easiest to use wallet for Solana. That was our first arc that we wanted to make sure as a company we do that very, very well. Our second arc was making sure that we have a multi-chain capability. We as Phantom are still doubling down on Solana. It's our home. It's where most majority of our users are. We want to keep innovating there. But we do know that this is a multi-chain world, and we have folks who are on multi-chain. And so the third arc that we're looking at is 2 pieces. It's making sure that we have the most vibrant discovery engine in crypto. And I think we kind of mentioned how we are using our millions of monthly active users to guide folks to those dApps. But the second part of what we're looking at in this third arc is improving usability and onboarding. And so Bitski is a provider of embedded wallets is really important to us. It started out as a partnership, and then we quickly realized all of our values aligned, our vision and mission aligned. And so what that means for Phantom is that we're going to offer more options to users. So a lot of folks are very comfortable with private keys and seed phrases, but the next couple million folks may not be. And so we want to give dApps the ability to have an embedded wallet that they don't have to worry about, that is very secure, and they are able to reduce friction. So if you are starting a game and you wanted to create an account, you don't first have to pop out to a wallet page, download, install, bring your key, and then log into the game. You can immediately start with your email or social sign-on. And then when the user is ready, then we can introduce more wallet-specific features. So I think this goes back to our reducing the knowledge ladder we're trying to have people climb, but then also just opening up that funnel. So having more and more people join crypto, even if they don't realize that it's crypto-powered, they can realize it when it's time. So if they're ready to take their assets out of this embedded wallet, maybe move it to Phantom, we're able to do that and help them kind of transverse the whole journey, start to finish.
Yeah, so that gaming use case is a great example.
Yeah.
What other applications or what other verticals could this be used in?
I mean, gaming is one. I do think that we find a lot of folks are drawn to crypto because either a friend or something they're seeing as a dApp is doing something interesting. So, we see here where we've got ride sharing. In Solana, the innovation is incredible, where you've got folks doing travel bookings via Solana or any of these, more traditional companies that have their ownership owned entirely by a VC or external capital partners, and now having that be opened up to crypto, I think is going to create a lot of incentives where it's I win, we win, and we want Phantom to help power that.
Very cool. We have 3 minutes left, so I'm gonna ask you to kind of give some closing remarks. And I thought maybe it'd be good for you to kind of tell the audience here as well as online, what does winning look like for Phantom? What is the top of Mount Everest for your company?
Ooh, wow. Our mission is to make that the world's adoption accelerated in crypto. So we want to see, everyone who has a phone have a Phantom wallet and participate in the crypto economy. And that can be varying levels of participation. That could be a game, or it could be something more investment or DeFi oriented. So our end state is to have everyone have the Phantom wallet and have an incredibly safe, happy user experience with growing the pie with all the dApps with us.
Very cool, very cool. Brendan?
So Brave doesn't want the entire Chrome market share, just half. We want to not only reform things like advertising and tracking, which is happening through privacy regulators and through lead user products like Brave. We want to build a win-win or positive sum game world, and I think crypto is a big part of that. I talked about liquidity, and you talked about friction. Apple, think of what you will of them. The one thing that I also value in the Apple Pay is Apple Cash, and there's great precedent in crypto for accumulating tokens of various kinds, as long as you can actually use them, as long as you have liquidity. So I think that's one of the goals for Brave, is to build the world toward self-custody, toward liquidity, toward progressive decentralization. There'll still be servers, there'll still be merchants with web stores and Shopify integrations. That doesn't go away, but there'll be lots more dApps, more usable dApps. It won't be a terrifying world of shifting between apps to recover your key or give some proof that you're you. I mean, that's all too painful right now. It reminds me of the early 90s. So we're trying to build a better world with Brave, and we'll take Chrome's market share, at least half of it.
Fantastic. Sam, what does winning look like?
Yeah, for Helio, the winning looks like us being on par or as good as Apple Pay, because that is the gold standard of what the traditional finance is. And we need to get to that level. And I think that's where we're trying to head to slowly, progressively. And if the integration is seamless, then that could be a gateway into users using more of the crypto functionalities and blockchain functionalities within Helio, such as the NFT airdrops and so on. But we just want to have widespread usage of Helio payments throughout Web3.
Fantastic. And for us at Helium Mobile, I think we have a very audacious task where I see the world connecting to whatever internet it is, whatever platform you want to use, or however you want to transact. We want that to be on a decentralized infrastructure. And that means you can go to any internet, any location you want with no barriers, no one telling you what you can or cannot see or do. That's our objective. And the tools that we make today is just an example that we want to show the world of how you can make that happen. It's a much lower cost, people-owned internet access. That's really what we're trying to do. So thank you all very much. Feel free to stay if you want to ask questions. And for folks online, reach out to folks here on their Twitter handle. Hopefully you guys can find that. Really grateful for you all being here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.